away over to something. Okay. Okay, good. So next, Shalini.
Hello, sir. Sir, my question is, when we ask people to start meditating, uh, we've heard that meditations is a solution to all our problems. But at the same time, it also says that do not have any expectations. So how do we convince people to meditate on what uh, basis?
First of all, you should not convince anybody. The convincing business is the wrong business. If somebody's in need of help, you go and help. That is the right help. Somebody asks for somebody is in need of help and they ask for help, then you should help. When somebody is in need of help, but they never asked for help, and you go and volunteer for the help once, it's okay. But if they reject it, you should not interfere in their life again. So the way to teach meditation is you teach for the seekers of the truth. You cannot teach for insincere people. When somebody is sincere, they really wanted some help in their life, you go and teach meditation. You don't need to convince anything because they're looking for that. What you have to offer is what they're looking for. So there is nothing to convince. They're waiting for that. So they are the right people. And our job is to reach out to those kind of people who are seeking, who are ready, who value. But somebody is not ready for meditation, or somebody don't believe in meditation because they've been used to suffering. Sometimes it is difficult to come out of your own patterns because you got so used to self-sabotage. You got so used to self-abuse. You allow yourself to be abused by others, and you got used to certain suffering for so many years in your life. So there is a certain comfort for you in that suffering. And you don't want to come out of the suffering. Those kind of people, you cannot do anything unless they decide to come out of the suffering themselves. So no convincing business.
Okay. Okay, but when we start to teach meditation to people, should we tell them meditation is a solution to your problems, or should we tell that do not have any expectations?
You should ask them to experiment.
Experiment, okay.
Okay. You can say that in my life, my meditation helped me. So the same will apply to you. Why don't you experiment? That is the right way. That is the scientific way. You should not give any dogmas. The propaganda should not be there. The should not be there. You should give the free will. I benefited from meditation. Meditation helps. And you can speak the science of meditation. In what way meditation helps? The more you meditate, the more you receive energy, the more your awareness increases. With more and more energy, with more and more awareness, you are able to come out of all your challenges. This is the science of meditation. So you can speak the science of meditation and ask them to experiment. There is nothing to believe here. That is the right way to reach out.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
But I know some people, it is unfortunate. Some people, they involve themselves that, they take it as a life mission. I have to spread meditation, and they keep on bulldozing on people. That goes against, because any sincere seeker who wants to learn meditation, he doesn't need any bulldozing. He simply needs the right science. That's all. So that's why you should stick on to the science. Whether somebody is meditating or not, it is their free will. But your job is to speak the science of meditation. Your job is to make yourself available for the people who need your help. That's all.
Okay. Okay, sir. So
Then,
one more.
then what is the difference between religion and spirituality? There are certain religions who take it as a life mission to convert everybody, hook or crook, convert. So we are not into that business. We are here to empower the people.
Mm.
Empower the people in what way? Through the science, through the spiritual science. We want empowerment of the people through spiritual science. And at the same time, we respect everybody's free will. That should be the way.
Okay. Okay. Sir, one more question.
Yeah.
So when I go and we know that breathing helps to flush out the toxins. You breathe in oxygen, remove all the carbon toxins from the when you do pranayam and breathing. But when I go deep in meditation, sometimes I kind of gasp for breath. Like, so at that time, I know it kind of your breathing slows down in deep meditation. So at that time, is it not flushing out toxins, or how, what is the science behind that?
See, the flushing out of toxins are all superficial. It relates to only on the body level. Meditation is to connect to your deeper level. Meditation is to connect to your soul. That is your core. We have a body, but we are not the body. We have a mind, but we are not the mind. We are pure consciousness. Pranayama is for flushing out the toxins, as you rightly said. The more you do pranayama, the more the toxins flushes out. But meditation is not for flushing out the toxins. Meditation is to realize yourself. Meditation is to see how beautiful you are, how wonderful you are, how unique you are, how multidimensional you are, how pure you are, how transparent you are, what you are. To realize yourself is meditation. But in the process of realization, the flushing out of toxins happens eventually. But meditation is not a deliberate attempt to flush out the toxins. Meditation is a process where the self-realization happens naturally.
Okay.
We are not concerned about flushing out of toxins because we know that anyway happens. So we are not concerned about it. It is like this: when you are walking in the sun, your shadow follows you. You don't check whether my shadow is following me or not. Wherever you go, your shadow naturally follows you. You don't need to double check your shadow. Similarly, when you are in the self-realization process, all the physical, emotional, psychological healings eventually happens. You don't need to double check it. And that reflection is in your day-to-day life. You will be a better person every day. So that means some cleansing is happening on the physical level, emotional level, mental level.
Mm.
Focus on self-realization. All the rest of the things are naturally taken care.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So now here, when it comes to the food habits, right, it is very important because since you asked the question about emotional, not emotional, you asked the question about flushing out of toxins. So first and foremost, you have to stop taking toxins inside. Are we stopping the toxins? Number one, we should eat organic food. Don't eat the food of chemicals. Eat organic food. Eat the food of nature. Eat the food of love, like plant-based food. The plants produce food, but they never consume their own food. They produce the food for the birds to eat, for the animals to eat, for the humans to eat. Nature, the plants, the trees, they produce vegetables and fruits and grains, but they don't eat. But they produce it for the other living beings to eat because they produce with so much joy, with so much gratitude. Like mother produces the milk for the child to drink. And when the child drinks the milk, mother is so happy. Similarly, the nature produces the food for all the living beings to consume it. That is the food of love. So the first and the foremost, you should eat the food of love and gratitude, which is a plant-based food. And then again, prefer organic food. Drink plenty of water. Minimum 3 to 4 liters of water every day. Okay. And don't speak unnecessarily. This is the physical aspect of toxins. When you take care of the food, the physical aspect of the toxins are taken care. Then don't speak unnecessarily. Don't argue with fools. The moment you know the other person is a fool, keep your mouth shut. Don't argue with fools. Don't try to convince anybody. You should only open the mouth only when it is necessary. The rest of the time, you should keep your mouth shut. So in that way, you save a lot of energy. You don't go through unnecessary, needless trouble. That emotional trouble, you don't need to go through. And spend every day in meditation. So the more you spend time in mauna, your emotional healing happens. The more you spend time in meditation, your psychological and mental healing happens. And the more you eat the right kind of food, eat the food only when you are hungry, and eat only half stomach or 75% maximum. Then naturally all the detox happens. Natural detox happens when you eat the right food in right quantity, when you speak the right words. Unnecessarily don't speak. And meditate every day. And spend time in nature. More and more spend time in nature. When you spend time in nature, naturally you rejuvenate. So these are the simple things you can do. So that you are not taking any more toxins and the existing toxins naturally flushes out. Drinking more water naturally flushes out your toxins, physical toxins. Practicing mauna naturally flushes out your emotional toxins. As simple as that. Mauna means silence, deep silence. Silence in mindfulness. And this retreat, what we are doing, this 10-day self-realization retreat, is all about physical healing, emotional healing, psychological healing, and finally self-realization. Okay. Right. So next question, Lalita.
Hello, sir. Sir, this is an a question which Shalini ma'am asked. Like to others, we cannot say to meditate. I mean, like not to say to meditate, but we cannot force them to meditate, or we cannot, um, keep on bugging them to meditate. But if it is like kids, if kid.
It applies the same formula. Same formula for everybody.
But we cannot see them becoming lazy or
You see, kids are, when it comes to the children, you have to understand, kids don't learn by listening to the parents. Kids learn by observing the parents.
okay.
When you meditate every day, when you transform your life every day, then they learn from you. When you don't speak unnecessarily, they learn from you. When you eat healthy food, they learn from you. When you exercise every day and you keep your physical body healthy, then they learn from you. The kids always learn by observing. So the only way to help your kids is your own self-realization.
Okay.
When you focus on your own self-realization, naturally your kids are inspired.
Got it, sir.
That is the only way. There was no other way. And the more you tell the kids to do meditation, when you yourself are not in the process of self-realization, and you are telling your kids to do that, they will see that they can see crystal clear that you are a hypocrite, and they will never want to listen to you, and they will go far away from you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, just a second. So this is because I'm in the ashram, so this is the time to have brunch. So people knock the door to give the food. If I don't go, they keep knocking. Sorry for that. All right. Okay. So Fiona, I think you raised the hand. So let it be the last question.
Can I ask that question?
Who is that?
Yeah.
You should raise.
Yes. I started meditation on a regular basis for 6
I
months.
cannot see you. I cannot see you, madam. Who is asking this question?
Can you see me now?
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Jagadamba. I'm from Colorado. I have this question. When I started meditation, one day I felt so happy, genuinely happy, that I felt that I don't need anybody in this life. I felt so happy. So immediately I thought, so if I feel that I don't need the family or anything, but so I got, I think, scared or something that, okay, if I feel this way, then what will be my responsibilities? What will happen to my family? How do I balance my responsibilities? So what is happening? I mean, what do you understand what I'm trying to say? When you have a family and
Sometimes I feel I'm in a wrong platform
okay,
because I was expecting certain questions which has such a certain intensity.
okay,
But anyway,
so it doesn't mean anything, or what does why I felt that way? What does it mean?
what do you expect me to answer? You felt a certain way, and you are expecting an answer from me that why you have felt certain way.
No. When I felt that way, actually, with meditation, we need to be with ourselves. We need to understand ourselves. We need to look deep into ourselves, and then eventually we will be happy by ourselves.
See, I've been consistently telling from the day one, spirituality is all about taking responsibility for your life. Spirituality is not about escapism.
Okay.
Spirituality is not feeling I'm sufficient, I'm okay, I'm happy, I don't need anybody. No. You have come to the planet Earth for your own self evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So, anytime you are feeling any kind of escapist thoughts, you are having escapist thoughts, or you're feeling pressure from anybody, either this extreme or that extreme, both are extremes.
Mm-hmm.
One extreme is you feel that everybody is troubling you. On the other extreme, you feel I don't need anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Both the extremes are not good. You have to be in balance. You have to be in the middle path. The samsara and nirvana to be together. And in fact, the nirvana means enlightenment. The nirvana happens only in samsara. So these are the stages one goes through. It is like a pendulum. See, my dear friends, you have to understand that in the spiritual process, you will go through left and right. There will be ups and downs, just like a pendulum. When the pendulum goes to the extreme left and you release it, it goes to the extreme right. And from there, it goes to the extreme left. So the pendulum keeps swinging. So like that, in our life journey, we keep swinging up and down, up and down. And to be an enlightened person means not to swing extreme left, not to swing extreme right, just to be centered, to be balanced. There might be momentary swing, there might be momentary ups and downs, but it is just only for a few seconds. Immediately you are back to the center. So in the process of meditation, if you are a sincere meditator, if you are sincerely meditating every single day with the intention of self-realization, then these questions won't come in the first place. Because in that intense process of meditation, you know that this is natural and you are self-motivated to go to the next step. When you are a sincere student of truth, these questions will never come. Because your own meditation journey will motivate you to go ahead in spite of all the challenges. And your own meditation journey will caution you that, hey, you are going extreme, come to the balance. So all the guidance will come from within. If you're having escapist attitude, if you're having escapist thoughts, your own self, your own consciousness will guide you. The beauty is your own consciousness will guide you. What you're doing is right or wrong. When will your own consciousness guide you? Only when you're sincere. In my own journey, I had no questions. And all my questions are answered by my own self. I never asked anybody in my journey. I never asked any questions in my journey. Of course, there are certain fine-tuning. For fine-tuning of the understanding, I ask certain questions. Very rare, 1 or 2 questions. Because I want to make sure that my understanding is right. So the fine-tunement. But I never asked any other questions about my journey because I know what I'm going through. And I know I'm in the right path. In fact, in my own journey, when the whole world was against me, everybody was saying I'm doing wrong. But only I know I'm doing right. This guidance came from within me. So, my dear friends, there's only very simple thing I'm going to tell you. If you are not sincere, then nobody from outside can help you. But if you are sincere, your own inner self is enough to guide you. There are 2 kinds of guru, inner guru and outer guru. Your inner guru is your own self, your own consciousness. When you are in touch with your inner guru, then you naturally learn from everybody. The whole universe becomes your guru. The life itself becomes a guru. Your life itself teaches you many things. But when you are not connected to your inner guru, that means you are not sincere in your journey. Then no guru can help you. No outer guru can help you. So the focus should be on your sincerity. The more you are focused in your own evolution, that means you are really, really sincere. The definition of sincerity means you really need it from deep from your being. It's like a do or die attitude. You are that sincere. I think I've answered your question.
I understood. This feeling came only like 2 to 3 months ago, not now. Only one day it happened, but I still continuing the meditation. But I was just trying to figure out, is it normal to feel that extreme or is something I need to understand? That is the reason I asked you. But I'm glad you told me that sometimes it goes extremes, that we have to, come to the center. And I'm really appreciate that answer. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. It is very natural. It is very natural that we go to the extremes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And also it is very natural we come to the center once we are in the right path. If you are not in the right path, why many people get misguided is because they are not in the right path. Or they're looking for some shortcuts. Or rather than depending on their own inner guidance, they depend on others. Then there is a possibility of misguidance. You think my guru will help you. You think you are associated, you are labeled with certain organizations, and you think being part of the organization is good enough, you are enlightened. So when you have this kind of external dependency, then there is every possibility will be misguided. But when you are having the inner guidance, then you can never go wrong. Even if you go astray a little while, you will immediately come back to the path. Because you, yourself, is connected to the God consciousness. So this is the statement of Jesus Christ. Seek the truth, and the truth shall liberate you. Only your truth will liberate you, nothing else will liberate you. Liberation means freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from suffering. And this is Buddha's final words, Apo Dipo Bhava. The final words Buddha spoke before vacating the body is Apo Dipo Bhava. Apo means only you. You have to underline the word only. Apo means only you can light your inner lamp. So when we are sincere to our own self, when you are sincere towards your own self-realization process, our inner lamp will guide us. Our inner lamp will help us liberate from all the sufferings. Truth is actually very simple, but it is the mind which complicates. Okay. So I think most of the questions are answered today. So can we make today the final session?
No, sir, the fourth class is still there. You said four. Yeah, 4 sessions.
Okay, so do you want any particular topic tomorrow? Because all the questions are finished out.
Sir, whatever you feel. I think self-realization, we want a retreat from you, self-realization retreat. Something
And that
about,
I've spoken about it.
no, something more about what is self-realization.
What is self-realization? You realizing yourself is self-realization, as simple as that. You realizing your true aspect. Okay, you can ask the question, what happens after self-realization? After self-realization, you will be a happy person. All the time you are happy, you will become like a laughing Buddha. In fact, the laughing Buddha is a concept in the Eastern world. So once you become a Buddha, you are always laughing, in spite of the outer circumstances. So that is the outcome of enlightenment. You'll become a laughing Buddha. It doesn't mean you don't feel angry or you don't feel irritated. You might feel angry, you might feel irritated, but only fraction. But most of the time you are happy, laughing. So that is the outcome. Okay, now I want to ask a question. You tell about the psyche of US, because every country has certain psychology. Every country has a certain vibrations. So what is the vibe of US? I know people go to US for prosperity, for money, for good infrastructure and all the things. But a strange phenomena I've noticed when I visited US or when I speak to my friends. I traveled to US a couple of times, 2, 3 times, I guess. And when I speak to my friends, they say that somewhere they are in the survival consciousness. Somewhere the majority of the people are in survival consciousness. Isn't it a strange thing? The most prosperous country, the highest GDP in the planet Earth, they are into survival consciousness. So tell me something about it. Can anybody speak about it?
I think Shri sir wanted to speak. Desires, I feel. Yeah.
Thank you, Master. Last time I didn't give you my background. Like you, I did engineering degree, management degree, spent 4 decades in the US. Now I've become a coach, advisor, guest faculty, because the purpose of knowledge is to share. That's my approach to what I'll do in my next phase. But living in this environment, I have observed 2 overriding emotions, fear and greed. Fear and greed are motivating people in decisions that they make, in how they perceive the world around them, including people. And what fear and greed overcomes is the ability to think that Vasudeva Kutumbam, we are all the same. We exist as a collective community where we can share what we have. And sharing is not your personal resources, but it's sharing goodwill, sharing knowledge, sharing experiences, and making sure that you think of yourself beyond an individual. So I think that once we dial down those emotions, which are driven by the whole concept of if I don't do well in this role, my job will go away. Or if this happens to this company and all the manufacturing moves to China, we're left without jobs. So I worked for the biggest companies. I worked at Google, I worked at Microsoft, I worked at Amazon. But the mindset is really about worrying about what is behind the corner rather than living in the moment and saying, hey, I'm in a good place. I'm taking care of my family. I'm enjoying what I do. Let me experience this in the fullness. That, I think, is overlaying the minds and attitudes of people. So I think maybe that is something that people have to look inward, look at their inner compass. I tabled a question because you answered it for me in your discussion earlier. I was going to ask you, everybody here is challenged for time. And when you have time, you have to choose between quality and quantity. So as meditation practitioners, there are some days where you have the time, you do it intensely, and some days you have only time to do one quality hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. So then I heard from you later on saying, let your inner compass decide. Today is Sunday, I'll focus on quantity. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I might have only time for quality. I'll let that guide me. So I think that was a very good illumination for me. Is I can't ask you what's right for me on Wednesday and what's right for me on Saturday. I can choose myself to do that. And I hope this helps others too. But so two parts. One, I talked about the attitudes. One is about a question that I had, but I tabled it. Yeah. But you can shed light on both. What do you think?
Thanks, sir. Thanks for sharing. So you said the underlying emotion, basically, which guides most of the people is fear and greed. But actually, greed comes from fear. Greed is the end result of fear. You become greedy because you fear that it's not sufficient for you tomorrow. It's not sufficient for you for the next generation. So because of that fear, you become greedy. You start accumulating the things because of the fear. The greed is because of fear. So maybe that is the topic I should speak tomorrow.
Yes.
So tomorrow I'll speak exclusively on fear.
Sir, I've noticed something, wanted to share. I've seen the people who don't have fear and who are not in the survival mode here in US are those who live out of the grid, who live independently, not dependent on the utilities provided by the organizations like water or like they are foraging for food, they live on natural resources, they live independently. Those are the few people who live without fear of tomorrow. That's what I have noticed. Rest all are in fear.
And you see, it is law of karma. What you give comes back to you. As a country, everybody, see, individual consciousness is there, collective, family karma is there. Individual karma is there, family karma is there. Then there is group karma. Then there is country karma is also there. So what you give to others comes back to you. As an entire country, everybody goes through that. But you cannot take responsibility for others' actions. But because you are part of that commune, you have to take responsibility. So it is a paradox. But how can you take responsibility is when you eliminate yourself. When you go through the self-realization process, when you light your own inner lamp, that light shines on your fellow citizens. So collectively, it helps in the collective consciousness. So the only way you can help your own country, your own community, is you getting a self-realized person. You coming out of the fear creates a ripple effect. Your emotions, your vibrations, they are pure energy. When something shifts inside you, it creates a ripple effect. Okay. So tomorrow we'll speak about fear. And we'll have more questions as a concluding session. We'll speak about fear and then we'll have some questions. Okay. So we will finish the session with 5 minutes of meditation. So let us sit for meditation.
Should I on the music or without music we can do?
Yes, 5 minutes with music. So drink some water, gently close your eyes, clasp your hands, cross your feet. Even few minutes of meditation will benefit you. When you close your eyes, you conserve the energy. When you observe the breath, you maximize your energy. That is the science. The science of meditation is the science of energy maximization. When you close your eyes, you conserve the energy. When you observe the breath, you maximize the energy. Final 10 seconds. Gently place hands on your ears for 5 to 10 seconds. And you may slowly open your eyes whenever you're ready. Okay, friends. See you again tomorrow. And we'll discuss the topic on fear. Namaste to everyone. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
night. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.